Hello Skillr Boxers. Today we are going to break down the quickest hands in boxing history. A slick counterpuncher with lightning fast combinations and footwork as sweet as sugar. Sugar Ray Leonard was one of the most talented and complete boxers ever.
I think Sugar Ray Leonard is the best fighter of all times to me. His skills, was incredible. I just think it was incredible.
His speed, precision and intelligence in the ring made him a truly special boxer. Capable of defeating legends like Duran, Hearns, Benitez and Hagler. But all this talent and innate ability was carefully calculated and shaped in training. He was a true craftsman who would outsmart his opponents and visualize his fights to carry out the game plan in perfect fashion.
What I would do with fighters, I would visualize, I would choreograph fights in my head. So I would envision this and I would write the script and I would carry it through.
Today, we're going to do just like him and break down his fight sequences, analyzing the techniques that made him such a special boxer. So let's start by taking a look at his boxing stance. Boxing stance. Starting with his base, Leonard fought in a narrow stance with his feet close together. This narrow stance, as opposed to a wide stance, allowed him to move quickly around the ring and constantly change directions, making him more elusive from the outside. Even though he had a defensive approach, he fought more squared to his opponent and maintained a tall posture. At times, he would crouch forward to bait his opponent and make them miss. He would stay squared while facing his opponent, but kept his head off the centre line, moving from 10 to 2 o'clock to remain elusive. Leonard also maintained an open guard with his hands at shoulder level, constantly moving, using pre-slips and parrying shots from the outside. This combination of constant head movement and pre-slips allowed him to exploit one of his best skills. Counterpunches. Leonard's constant head movement and awareness in the ring gave him the ability to seamlessly transition into counterpunches of slips and pullbacks.
As you throw that with the right hand, I'm coming in.
That came on the heels of a pretty good...
He would often bait his opponents, waiting for them to throw before pulling back and using his back foot like a spring to come back with a quick jab counter. His speed and deep understanding of weight distribution made this technique highly effective for him.
Reyes controlled the fight once again, left hand.
Leonard had many ways to counter, often bringing his power hand into play.
He summoned up quite a lot at age 30.
After defending a shot, he could quickly transition into combinations, making his opponents miss
Leonard is going after
and sneaking in multiple punches to rack up points.
good combination by Leonard.
Some counters came off blocks and parries from his open guard,
Sneaking up cut to the inside, Ray.
while others originated from slips to either the inside or outside, enabling him to quickly counter from the loaded side.
The fight doesn't change. He dictates the fight. It's 27th fight.
But to execute these counters effectively, Leonard needed an exceptional understanding of distance and a swift footwork. Leonard's footwork is one of the most eye-catching aspects of his style. He had some of the quickest feet in boxing, which he used to evade shots and set the tone in his fights, often frustrating his opponents.
Now you give Leonard this much rest back.
Right hand by Leonard, a left to the body.
He relied on a lot of lateral movement, constantly changing directions and making it difficult for his opponents to cut off the ring.
My favorite fighter is Sugar Ray Leonard. I was watching a lot of Ray Leonard fights. Hagler? Leonard. Yeah. Duran, Leonard, second fight. I was impressed how Leonard was moving all 12 rounds without stopping. You know, sometimes if he stop, he do combination and he move again.
Yeah. He's going to have to find it from somewhere. I would have been a little more emotional if I was in the corner.
Leonard also incorporated feints into his movement, forcing his opponents to reset and giving him time to reposition himself.
He is in there boxing and not standing flat-footed.
These feints and his constant changes in direction made it incredibly challenging for opponents to close the distance. Even when an opponent managed to get closer, Leonard's slick head movement acted as a second line of defense.
Apartment in New Carrollton, Maryland. Here in red, bobbing and weaving now, slowing down the pace a little bit there.
His ability to quickly shift to offense while moving laterally or backing away allowed him to catch his opponents off guard, especially when they were in an offensive mindset and chasing him. Quick punches. Leonard's greatest weapon was his incredible hand speed. His jab in particular was outstanding.
He looked at me and I did this and a pow! Oh, I love that part.
Sugar Ray is oozing confidence suddenly. Look at that.
A flicker jab that was both fast and accurate, allowing him to control fights from the outside and set up his quick 1-2 combinations. Leonard's hallmark, however, was his rapid flurries on the inside.
They were throwing punches. You can hear them. They were two, but they sound like fucking one punch. You know how magnificent your speed have to be for that?
These lightning fast combinations carried significant power despite their speed, leaving opponents struggling to evade punches and often resorting to covering up until the storm passed. But without a doubt, his best punch is the lead hook.
Of the challenger. Combinations, oh, and so long.
Whether leading or countering, his left hook was quick and precise. Leonard often used his rear hand to disrupt his opponent's rhythm and load up his hook.
One right to the chin of Leonard, didn't move him, but it was a tough
Pumping that jab anymore.
and the Hearn's legs don't.
For example, by throwing a rear hand, typically across, Leonard would shift his weight onto his front foot, perfectly setting up his lead hook. His understanding of punching mechanics allowed him to use this momentum to throw a devastating, lightning-fast hook. He often threw it in a loose whipping motion, almost like a slap, prioritizing speed and precision while still delivering a powerful punch.
Oh, see when they say hook, they throw hook. I don't like it. It's not a hook. It's almost like a slap.
While Leonard was one of the most complete and talented boxers, he did have some flaws. His lateral movement, though exceptional, occasionally left him vulnerable. When moving laterally, he had to square up to the opponent. Some boxers used to anticipate Leonard's moves and catch him with straight shots, stepping in as he was squared up.
Good round for Thomas Hearns. Parts of this round in the first.
Those jabs don't hurt, they look pretty.
Additionally, Leonard's tendency to fight tall in a straight up posture made it difficult for him to duck under shots, forcing him to rely heavily on pullbacks and parries. This sometimes left him exposed and led to him being caught by his opponent.
Standing too straight up. Too tall, man.
Leonard 2. There's a right by her.
Despite these flaws, Sugar Ray Leonard remains one of the most complete and talented boxers in history. He was able to beat the best of the best in his era with skill, strategy, and lightning fast punches.
Again, Larry Bond's right hand is down around his...
But now we would love to know your opinion on the comments. What other skills or flaws do you see in Sugar Ray Leonard? Let us know. And if the video was interesting, you can find more in our channel. And to your left, there's a video specially suited for you.